things just went downhill quick. We got married the 3rd month I was out there, right? And by the justice of the peace, it wasn't no, wedding in a chapel or anything shit like that. Just some buck-toothed lady said, now you're married. And I said, all right. So I'm telling myself, this is it, David. Your prayers were answered. Here's your wife. Don't fuck it up. She goes, I got a great idea. Because we never went on a honeymoon. She goes, in order to consecrate our marriage, let's go to Sweden. I go, okay. I'm decked out in a 3-piece suit on a cruise ship, and she put on this really beautiful dress, and we're just mingling with the hoi polloi, high society. And she passed out. We got all drunk. She passed out with a plate of spaghetti sitting on her beautiful dress in the room. I went to the bar, and that's when the problem started. There was these 2 older ladies, really beautiful women. So we go to their room, and it turns out they were lesbians. So they opened the bottle of champagne. So they're telling me, basically we're gonna go bump clams. And I said, go ahead, man, handle it. I'm just gonna work on this bottle. So they got fully naked on the bed, started doing their thing, and they invited me. They said, would you like to get in the middle? And I'm like, the human sandwich? You're telling me that? And I go, yeah. So I'm all up in them. And the one, when she has, she orgasm, she scratched my back like this. I just, that's great. Because I could feel the marks. She had long nails. And I go, how the fuck am I going to explain this now? It was a disaster. It was just... I got in the shower, she got in with me. She saw those marks on my back. She knew exactly what they were. I tried to play it off like, honey, don't you remember last night we made such good love? You scratched my back. She doesn't have any nails. She goes, you lying son of a bitch. She started throwing everything in the room at me, and I fucking... There I was, again, in trouble. It's kind of hard to talk about this because I really feel... I for 3 years after this, I felt so guilty, so bad, so distraught that I didn't talk, I barely ate, I just felt like shit. We were staying in the cottage, right? And I broke some things over there one night drunk, and her mom said, well, you guys gotta go. And I said, cool. She goes, but I have you an apartment. So I said, all right. She puts us up in this apartment. It's only got like 8 units in it, and they're all mentally retarded people. And I'm like, what is this? Is there like a hidden message here? So we got in an argument one night, and I split. I went to town, and I said, I'm gonna go get laid. I'm gonna see if she really loves me as much as she says she does. There I am at the bar, and these 2 women walk up. The one woman who could speak broken English, excuse me, tells me that this woman next to her wants to make love to me and take me home. And I look at her and I go, is that true? And all she could do was smile and go like this, yes. The one that can speak broken English, she says, well, I have to go now. And I go, well, I'm thinking, well, how am I going to communicate with her? And then I'm thinking, who needs to talk? Everybody moans the same when you're making love. It doesn't matter what language it is. So we go up to her apartment and, made love all night. And, I mean, it couldn't have happened any worse. We're both walking down the steps, and there's Crystal, my wife, walking up and down the street looking for me, and she sees me come out of this apartment with this woman. And I didn't see her at the time. I turned to kiss this woman goodbye. And my wife came up and fucking just yanked her by the back of the hair and slapped the shit out of her. And I'm like, oh, fuck. I just turned around and went the other way. We went to another town because by now in Yarvanpah I wasn't welcome anymore. And through her work as a journalist, we traveled here, we traveled there, and sometimes I went to work with her. I met all the people that worked there, and I was casing the joint is what I was doing. I found out a way in and out of the place. I found out where the loft is, the attic, and I was crawling around up in there, and I found a hatch to the roof. If I really needed money, there's all this expensive shit in there. And like I said, I went from like praying to hell. The year before that, like I said, I was praying and doing really good, and then I just went back to my old ways and the thief, drug addict nature. One night we got in an argument, and I was looking for a place to sleep. Actually, I just wanted somewhere warm. So I remembered the radio station. So I get in there, and I was just gonna go to sleep, and then wake up early in the morning and run out of there before anybody woke up or even showed up. So I got this harebrained idea to steal things, and I stole they call them zero suits. It's a fleece-lined jumpsuit that you can go anywhere. You can go to Siberia in that thing, you'll still be warm. So I put one of those on, and I had the box, and I was ready to go. By now it's like 4 in the morning, and fuck it, there's all these phones at work, I might as well call all my friends. By now it's 5 o'clock and I'm getting sleepy. I hung up the phone, I peed on the phone, and I was gonna leave. I had the box next to me, I'm in a jumpsuit, and I fell asleep in a chair. The next thing I know, the police are kicking me in the leg, and they're saying, "Hey, get up, wake up, wake up." And I woke up and I'm like, "What? What's going on?" And I snapped out of it. I go, "Fuck, what did I do now?" So they're saying, "What's with that box?" I said, "I don't know. I've never seen that box in my life before." So they kicked me out. I told them the story that I had fallen asleep there. I was waiting for my wife to get off work. It was in the smoking room. And I said I had a cigarette. I fell asleep. She got off work. Nobody woke me up. And I've been asleep ever since. See, because they couldn't prove that I broke and entering. They kicked me out, but word got back to her boss, and that's one of the reasons that led up to her getting fired. Her occupation was a journalist for a Swedish radio station based in Finland. The actual reason why she got fired was because of my stupidity and my selfishness and arrogance. She bought me a ticket. See, Megadeth was my favorite band at the time. For my birthday, which is, November 23rd, she invited me to a concert. It's festival seating in here. Everybody's just standing around. So I started mowing the trail. I told her, hold on. I didn't even say excuse me once. I just started grabbing bodies and moving them out of the way and making my way to the stage. Apparently somebody had seen me up there blazing a trail, and as soon as I got to the front stage, I mean, we've only been in the concert a half an hour. I mean, 4 of the biggest dudes I've ever seen who had yellow shirts that said security on it. They grabbed me, fucking ripped me out. I lost my watch, the one that she bought me, and next thing I know, I'm in the snow. She had a company car, a little Ford Aerostar, whatever the hell it was, brand new thing, and she could use it, but she had to log down the miles. I used to work at a chop shop, which is a place where they work on stolen cars, and a person would pull in and we'd dismantle it and just take the parts that we need, and a tow truck would come and take it away. So I know how to disconnect the odometer, which is this mileage, So I told her, honey, I got an idea. We can, instead of taking the train, we can take the company car. I'll disconnect the odometer, put it right back on the same exact miles, and we're good to go. So she agrees to it. Well, actually, I talked her into it. And so I disconnect everything. I take apart the whole dash and take the odometer out. And I got it, and all the screws and everything. I know how everything goes. So we put it back together, and now we're driving around. All we do is need gas money. So we're driving, we drove to the concert and everything. So it's time to go. So we go back to her work, and it's like we're already late. It's like 10 minutes before she has to be back to work. And there I am with a hideous hangover, wrenching on the car, and she's bitching at me. And I'm going, man, shut up. Let me just put this back together. So I did something wrong, because I put everything back the way it goes, started it up, We rolled not even 2 yards, and the odometer went to some astronomical number. And I'm like, oh, fuck, I did something wrong. So she's like slapping me by now, and I go, man, what do you want to do? You want me to take it all apart again? Or just tell them, we can tell them it broke, the odometer's broke. She goes, just take me to work. And I'm like, all right. And I went in there, and I told them, it's my fault. It's an Apache custom to drive a certain amount of miles to propose to your wife. And I mean, I don't even know where these stories came out of. I was slinging them faster than, I was trying to save my skin and her job. So the boss goes, oh, that's nice. Oh, wow, what a beautiful thing, She goes to work, and then the next day she gets fired. And I'm like, I mean, that was her livelihood. That was her, thing. And I feel really guilty. That was one of the things I really felt guilty about, because I took away from her income. That I got her. It's really hard to find a good work in Finland, and I fucked off her job.